What's up, guys? It's me, it's Queen Offset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. All right, guys, so I want to talk to you about something today that's very, very serious, okay? And I see a lot of this, and I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to see if you guys noticed it and tell you my thoughts about it, okay? So there is a gentleman on YouTube, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want any, negativity or, anything to fall upon him. Those of you who already know about this situation are going to know what I'm talking about when I start speaking on it, but I'm not going to go too into it. I'm just going to use it as an example. So there's a gentleman on YouTube, and I've been watching some of his videos. I like his videos. They're pretty interesting. So the other day I was talking to a friend of mine, and she knows me. I'm very Afrocentric, but I don't like bigots. I don't like bigots of any kind. I don't care what group of people you hate. Chances are we're going to clash there. 100% chance we're going to clash there. So if you hate any large group of people, especially people that you don't even know, it's not very high that we're going to get along. And I say that because of the fact that if your heart is capable of hating people you don't know, our vibrations just ain't going to match. So I don't like bigots, and she knows that. But she also knows that I'm very Afrocentric and I love my people. I love all people, but I definitely love my people. So she knows this about me because she's known me forever. So she said to me, you're watching his videos? And I said, yeah, I love his stuff. He's actually funny and he's very interesting. And she was like, oh, but he's a racist. He's canceled. And I was like, really? Now, mind you, I had already heard about this, but I'm Aquarius, so I'm not going to let on that I heard about it, right? I heard about it, but I was just like, really? I wanted to see where her head was at with the whole situation. So she was like, yeah, he's a racist. And I was like, okay, well, what makes you say that he's a racist? So she told me about this situation that I already heard about and why they said he was a racist. And I'm sitting there looking at her like, for real? Really? That's it? He's not in the KKK. He's not making racial jokes. For real, that's what he did. She told me, and this is the story because I verified it from the gentleman's mouth. I heard the video. He talked about it. But she said basically that at 19 years old, now mind you, he's like 35 now. So at 19 years old, he said a racial slur to a person. He said the N-word to a person who was white, a Caucasian person. He's Caucasian, and he said to a Caucasian person the N-word. He called them the N-word. So she said, that's enough for me. He's racist. He's canceled. And I was like, wait a minute. We got to kind of think about this. Number one, he used the N-word. His vocabulary should not include the N-word. Nobody's vocabulary should include derogatory, racial, sexual, gender, statements or, vocabulary. None of us. We all heard it before. We're not stupid. We hear it. We hear people say it. We hear them singing the songs. We hear, people walk by us and say it. Yeah. But anybody of any decency should know better than to have those kind of words in their vocabulary. Yes, I will give you that. I agree with that. I agree with that across the board. I shouldn't be calling white people slang words, or Hispanic people. Across the board, that's not something that we should do to each other, period. So I'm with you on that. I'm with you 100%. But my point is that he did that one thing at 19 years old. Now, I'm sorry. At 19 years old, I was an idiot. At 19 years old, I did some things that I would never dream of doing today. You guys have heard a lot of my stories. If you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you've heard my stories about cutting up and treachery and cheating and lying. You heard my stories. So at 19 years old, I was at the height of my treachery. At 19 years old, I thought I was Erica Kane, okay? I thought that was my name, all right? So I can't sit here and judge a 19-year-old boy for saying one racial derogatory statement to a person of his own race. It wasn't right. Neither one of them was right, because from what I understand, the person called him some derogatory names because he's homosexual. So they called him, you know, the F word, you know, that kind of thing. So he screamed back with the N word at a Caucasian group of people. So my thing was, number one, they were both wrong in this situation. Number two, he was 19 years old. Number three, if this is the only thing you can tell me that is evidence that he's racist, then we got a problem, because that's not evidence that he's racist. And he did, like I said, he's not in a Klan. He's not online making racist jokes. He's not trying to hold people of color back at work. Like, is he doing racist things is my question. If he just made that one statement once upon a time, then I can't call him a racist. What I can call him is somebody who went through a very, sounds like, difficult time period and has come out on the other side. Because when we look at his life now, from what I see, I don't see him doing things that are racist to other people. And I'm not even just saying today. I mean, I'm looking at old videos and I'm not seeing that. I'm actually seeing him standing up for people of color on several different occasions. Now, some people might say he did that just because, you know, to get out of the hot water, you know, but I have a really hard time believing that a truly racist person can pretend not to be racist for that amount of time. I don't think he was racist in the first place. I think he had some really negative, nasty language. I think he was young. I think he was hurt. I think he was angry. I think he was defensive. I think somebody attacked him to hurt him, and he attacked them back with the first thing that came to his mind to hurt them. Now, no, those words should not come out his mouth. That shouldn't be something he ever even says to anybody of any race. But my point of the matter is that we have to look at this a little bit deeper. Because it looks like to me with him, and there's other examples too, it looks like to me that we had, remember I told you guys we got this cancel culture. So it looks like to me that, you know, people just pick somebody, they pull up some dirt from their past, something that they did or said. Most of the time it's not even an action, it's a word. And then they pull this dirt up from the person's past and everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. They're canceled. And I'm just like, I really can't get with that. I need to see some evidence, you know. I'm not asking for like a jury, you know, like some court files or something, but I need to see evidence of him acting racist. More so than him saying one word 20 years ago. I'm like, are you serious? And this happens with a lot of different, it's not just race, class, gender. Like somebody may say, oh, he's misogynist, talking about a man, or, you know, he's a pervert, you know. What did he do? Like, what did he do? Like when the whole thing bust out with R. Kelly. Everybody was like, oh my God, you know, R. Kelly. And I was like, okay, well, what did he do? You know? And when that evidence came out, court documented evidence, time and time and time again, I was just like, nah, homie. You got to go over there. I'm good. So in that case, I mean, it's not like he said one inappropriate thing or something like that. We're talking about thing after thing after thing after thing after thing. That shows a person's character. So if this young guy who's been accused of being racist, if it was his character, if he said and done racist thing after racist thing after racist thing, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, I feel y'all on that. But it just seems like to me that like somebody, his enemy or somebody who doesn't like him, dug up something on him just so he would be canceled. And the internet is so quick to crucify a person And I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to end with this. I'm going to ask you this question. Before you judge another person or cancel another person, I want you to ask yourself, are you clean? And when I say, are you clean, I mean, and some of you may actually be, but when I say, are you clean, what I mean is that there's nothing in your past, nothing you said, nothing anybody can say about you from your past that people could cancel you today. Because I guarantee for most of us there is. I guarantee most of us have made a statement or had a statement misconstrued. I think that's the word. Had a statement that was taken out of context that you made to another person. I bet you all of us, most of us at the very least, have something that somebody can be like, oh, I don't like her because she did this. I don't like him because he did that. I think he this, she that. But does that even match who you are? And if you did do that something, or is that who you are today? Because 20 years have passed. And I'm like, in 20 years, shit, a whole life can change in 20 years. I'm not talking about somebody who was, misogynistic yesterday and today they're telling us they're a feminist. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if a significant amount of time has passed, that this person could have learned the error of their ways. And in our society, we cancel people for the smallest infractions. And I think that we need to stop that, because it could be you. It could be any of us next. That's why I asked you, is there anything somebody could cancel you for? You might have made an off-color joke at work, and people could think that you're a misogynist or you're a man-hater. I hear that one for women all the time. They make a joke or say something and it probably was inappropriate, and everybody's like, oh, she's canceled. She's a man-hater. Oh, he's canceled. He's a misogynist. Oh, this one is canceled. They're a classist. They're a racist. We throw around these terms, and when somebody is one of these things, it's very negative. I'll give you that. But we throw around these terms and don't always think, is this really what they are? Is this their character? So my thing to you is before you cancel the next person, or before you, judge the next person, because I'm going to do this myself, think, is this an isolated event? Is this their character? Is this something that they really are? Is it a mistake they made 30 years ago? And to what extent? Because like R. Kelly has damaged people. He's violated people. This young guy I was talking about originally, he made a nasty, vile statement to someone who made a nasty, vile statement to him. So do we now cancel him 20 years later when we find out the tea? I think it's at least worthy of consideration. If you want to cancel him or not for it is one thing. That's your decision. But I think that we should ask ourselves these questions before doing so, and not be so quick to jump on the bandwagon to crucify someone on the internet when there's another witch hunt. Because there's always going to be another witch hunt. We're going to crucify this person. It's going to die down. We're going to crucify somebody else. It's going to die down. And my thing is that if a person is jacked up, they're jacked up. You got to call a spade a spade. But I don't like the way it's being discerned, because it's not proven to me that that's really what's going on. To me, it feels like somebody doesn't like him, so they're trying to put him out there and make people cancel him, probably because they're jealous of him. That's what it feels like to me. And if that's the case, that's not cool. And then we all jump on the bandwagon and cancel this person. So the only thing I'm asking is to give it more consideration, to think about it, to discern about it a little bit more, a little bit deeper before we make a decision that somebody is cut. Sometimes people gonna get cut. Some people, their character is just screwed up. And I'm fine with cutting somebody when they need to get cut. I'll cut you at the knees. But some of these cases, I don't think we calling them right. And I think that that's because people are too quick to jump before they read, investigate, listen, you know. And the first person, she wasn't the first person to mention this to me, because I was talking about this same person with another person a couple weeks ago. And that person said the same thing. Oh, he's racist. And I said, why you say that? And she didn't even know what the situation was. She just heard through the grapevine that he was racist. And I said, you didn't ask why did they say that? And she was like, nah, just you know, the person told me, and I was like, okay, you know, and that was it. And I was like, Then I told her what happened, and she was like, I don't know about that one. And I was like, that's what I'm saying. We not really discerning. You didn't even give him the benefit of the doubt. You didn't even ask, what did he do? Somebody told you he did it. You said okay and moved on. You didn't even say what. What did he do to make you give him that title, to give him that label? So in the comment section, let me know if you're squeaky clean, because some of you probably are, but I bet you more of you are not than actually know it. It's people talking about you right now. Something you did 20 years ago and you probably don't even remember. You farted in class or something, you know, and people are still talking about it. And that's my point, is that people in this culture, and this is not new. The cancel culture is not new. The cancel culture is just a modern day witch hunt. These things don't really change. They just change in, technology. So I'm going to let you go. Please think about that and let me know what you think in the comment section. And if you would like to have a reading done, please email me and I will give you an appointment. Likewise, all my information, my PayPal, my Patreon information, and everything is underneath this video. Please come back soon, because I got a lot more to say. See you later. Now let's see if my remote control works.